been here with Yinka Kenny, who has decided to toe my line. Every time I wear native, she complains, but now she has caught the bug. The bug has caught her, he has beaten her. What's that thing they used to say? Used to bite people, and the person now acclimatized to the environment.
I don't know.
Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm not really putting on native. At times we every one of us we do that all the time. It's just the material. It's Ankara. This I'm putting on a top and the trousers. Good to be here this morning.
What exactly are you doing? Are you bamboozling us with? I thought native was determined by
the material. Well, I don't know. I don't know whichever way we
because if you were going for a party, you could as well just tie gilly.
Yeah. But these days we even do the English way and
still go to the party and
put our edge somehow.
Yeah.
And make it some you just make it some sort of moderate, and if it's everything now it's just falling in place, just falling in line. no rigidity, no.
Apparently we're living our lives as simply as possible as we can.
Yes.
With absolutely nothing to encumber us or block us from being, the best that we can be.
Exactly.
It's a beautiful morning. We have Tolani Ujuri also joining us on the bumper breakfast this morning. Good morning, Tolani. How are you today?
Fine, I'm good.
You look like a student. I have a feeling you're going to class.
Yes, I'm going to class after here.
All right, let's take a look at the stories in the papers. You want to go out the card?
Okay, the Punch newspaper, I was seeing something like peace, and I was like, is peace coming to Nigeria some way or whatever? But unfortunately...
We didn't have peace before. You and I were at peace now.
Is Nigeria at peace?
That's a very
so I was hoping to see something peaceful in the papers, but unfortunately in the Punch newspaper, this peace I'm seeing is the other way around.
It's the titan of the peace. This peace we are seeing, they've been talking about it for weeks.
This piece I'm seeing is just the other way around. Okay, this morning the Punch newspaper is coming with a list story. Peace talks suffer. Wike descends on Atiku's men. This back and forth with Wike and Atiku. One wonders if this is gonna come to an end before 2023. I don't know.
Some people are wishing.
And then
I'm hoping.
With Wike, calling the Lagos State governor to come.
That was what I wanted to use. Why are you stealing
I should not beginning to break the table. I should not begin to break this morning.
Why yourself or talk read the story?
Honestly, I don't know. You begin to wonder what's game
after that meeting.
What game VK is really
I love the guy. I always tell people that if I'm going to have a governor from the south, it's going to be VK. I don't like quiet people. Governor Mifan Yokowa, all due respect to him, I like him. But if I'm going to look at a governor that I love,
but honestly, let's
Wike.
Wike talks, but in the recent times,
he doesn't just
no. You see, I feel that in the recent times, you cannot dictate. You cannot, just imagine. You cannot, predict. That's the word. You cannot predict what he will say or what he will do.
He's not talking so much
or what is on his mind.
But really, since this Buhari started, Wike has not been talking so much.
And that's why a lot of people are in confusion.
They don't know what he's doing. But let's finish.
Honestly, when I got that news, I said, this guy, what's he up to? Anyway, because I'm always an optimistic person, I want to say that Wike is not looking at politics, he's looking at governance. So, and that's what we all have been clamoring for. That it
looks as if you have become a member of his cabinet.
Okay, the writers of the story, you cannot go to Abuja and hold meetings against me. Wike tells PDP chieftains. Rivers governor uncomfortable with my closeness to Atiku. Senator Maibans talking there, and we will use our votes against those who think Rivers doesn't matter, says Wike. That's another strong word. Okay.
It's Jeje my Jeje that I am sitting down on this chair this morning. Nika, can you read this story?
Another one there. The picture story shines security agents clash in Kaduna. 6 killed, unfortunate one there. And Ondo Amotekun intercepts 168 invaders hiding under cows. Kidnappers kill 3, abduct women, children, senators, relative. And Lagos Ibadan traffic, hoodlums create tunnel, extort desperate motorists. Really?
Yeah. You've not encountered them?
Tunnel.
Lagos Ibadan, yes. So this is what it is. It's not like they create,
The
like
tunnel.
The tunnel, like. But the moment you're stuck in traffic, what they do is they come to you and they tell you the last 2 times I traveled, I encountered them. So as you're leaving Challenge or moving towards Iwotiwo Road, there's a traffic there because of that road construction that is going on. Ibadan is going to be transformed in the next couple of months.
Okay.
So
we have left Lagos
It's still
Ibadan
Lagos
now.
Ibadan.
The Iwo Road side where they are the construction is being
But the road is still called Lagos Ibadan Expressway.
up to that extent.
Yeah, up to that extent.
Really?
So it becomes Ibadan,
Iwo.
Ife, Ilesha, once you go past Iwo Road and all.
Okay.
At this end, once you leave Challenge, you encounter that traffic.
Yeah, I know.
So they come into traffic and they now tell you, traffic, turn. So they lead you through a place where you turn, then you go descend into the other side of the road, into one side road, so it's like a tunnel. You descend and then you do some navigation and then you bust out at the other side, the side that will lead you to the airport road.
No, but usually that's the route I go through. I really don't go through any tunnel there. Yeah, but when I'm coming back to Lagos, I go to the other side of the road, then I go into airport road straight. There's a road you go into airport road straight
then
up.
you bust out just before you get to Challenge, and then you hit the road and then you continue.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's it. But they extort people, right? They actually take advantage of desperate motorists.
I'm not
A
really
lot of people don't know the road. You're anybody person, you're not your person. You know the road.
Do I?
Yeah, you do.
Okay, maybe my driver does. Maybe my driver does.
But then
yes.
you see
Because
what
usually
happens
I use
is that somebody
driver
comes to you and then it says, do you want to help you? They climb on top of a bike and they lead you through. So they definitely
No, we do. I think over the time
you collect money.
we have mastered that route.
2,000.
We really. I think it was the first time we were going that we needed a direction. But subsequently,
you've mastered the road.
We mastered the road, and we really do not encounter. It's just unfortunate.
Let's bring in Tolani into the conversation this morning, and let's begin with Governor Nyesom.
No, let me just finish the story. Yeah. Above the nameplate, we have NUP RRC disagree over mobile acquisition of Seplat, and then WAEC releases 2022 WASC result with older 365,564 results, and Nigeria 3 others top World Bank debtors list. Is that one story now? And beside the nameplates, yes, we should talk about this.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that.
Soyinka knocks pirates confraternity for mocking.
I'm reserving that one for the Olayinka Daniels this morning. Let's talk to Tolani a little bit. Tolani, let's take a look at the banner headline of the Punch newspaper. Governor Nyesom Wike and Atiku Abubakar have been in the news for as long as we can remember. And everyone expects that after that primaries, isn't it a long time already for them to have resolved this issue? It's been April. I think that primaries took place in April. So what exactly is the problem?
It's about 3-4 months after the
exactly.
primary. Ordinarily, Nyesom Wike is drama. It's when he says someone's a drama queen, he's a drama king.
He's a drama king.
He's a drama king.
Anything like that.
That's his personality. He has presence. He has, just like you said earlier, compared to all the governors in the South, he's very vocal. He has presence. He's always in the news for one reason or the other. And I just think they should sort themselves out, and Governor Wike should focus on governance. Yes, he has not been talking so much since the primaries, but there has been so much drama around him. Yes, he's not been talking, but each time he talks, there's so much buzz. But people have been talking on his behalf. He has his lieutenants doing the talking here and there. And, for crying out loud, just leave politics and focus on governance. Yes, elections
Will that be so easy at this time?
Elections are drawing. They've got a lot of work to do. They've got so much work to do. The back and forth. The electorates, the people in Rivers State are the ones suffering this thing. Yes,
let's
you
take
might
a
come
quick
to say
break,
that.
Tolani. Hold that thought a little bit. I want to take a quick break. Let's take a commercial break. When we come back, we're still talking about this Atiku Wike, drama that is ensuing with the PDP.
We're back at Biggie's for Big Brother Naija Season 7. Who will bring the heat? What shakeups will happen within this world? We'll be discussing everything. Don't miss the new season of The Buzz, Tuesdays and Saturdays from 7 p.m. only on Showmax. With never seen before snippets, interviews and reviews hosted by me, Toke Makinwa. Subscribe now at www.showmax.com.
Do you have continuity or association plan for your business?
Has anyone shared the concept of sustainability with you?
What about the need to protect the rights of minority shareholders?
What are those ingredients germane to having effective meetings?
For these and many more, tune into Corporate Governance Platform every Thursday on MITV, your darling station, on DSTV 255 and UHF 43 at 4:30 p.m.
Corporate Governance Platform is your best medium for informative and educative strategies for the practice of the corporate governance profession.
Institute of Chartered Secretaries and Administrators of Nigeria, ICSAN, the hub of governance professionals.
A world of free entertainment awaits you. Anywhere, anytime, at the click of a button. A world where everyone is included. A world without subscriptions. A world where entertainment lives in your pocket, on your couch, and even in multiple places at once. This is a world of premium free. Why pay? Just watch.
I'm a bash, it's a it. Easy, Mr. Somebody. Nobody. Yes, and records. Lift me up, and let me check in the bar. Godun hit to party, in the big bar. Lift me up, and let me check in the bar. Godun hit to party. After you, now you, now only you take my back. And you let me say, Bami to be. After you, now you, now only you take my back. And you let me say, Bami to be. My good carrier, il est assuré il est mort. Il est assuré il est mort. Now I dey give am pressure. I don't check him. Now you open the way for the boy. Only Kima Sheberu, Kima Shefoya, umbrella in me. After you, now you, now only you take my back. And you let me say, Bami to be. After you, now you, now only you take my back. And you let me say, Bami to be. Give us never laugh. Okay, lower for me, yeah. Kirakito dollar, ori eni lo gbeni, yeah. If he palace for me, me I no pray make it zero for you. If he palace for me, me I no pray make it zero for you. If he smile for me, me I no pray make it red for you. If he smile for me, me I I don't play with this over for you. Lift me up, ẹlẹ́dàá mi jẹ́ kí n rí ire gbà. Kọ́dún yìí tó parí, kí n lè gbé gbá ọpẹ́. Lift me up, ẹlẹ́dàá mi jẹ́ kí n rí ire gbà. Kọ́dún yìí tó parí, kí n lè gbé gbá ọpẹ́. After you na you, na only you dey my back. Ẹ̀yin lẹ lè ṣe, bá mi tó tóbi. After you na you, na only you dey my back. Ẹ̀yin lẹ lè ṣe, bá mi tó tóbi.
We're back here on the bumper break. First, apologies, we had to take that very quick break. But Tolani was making a point about the Atiku Wike drama that we have been experiencing for a while. It's also the banner headline on the front page of the Guardian newspaper this morning. It looks as if they've returned to the trenches. PDP postpones National Caucus meeting as well. Fear of IU's removal. Your postponement not because of Atiku. We prepared for the meeting. AD insists we'll use our votes against those that say rivers don't matter. Wike subs Atiku. You were making a point, Tolani.
Yeah, it's all about Wike and drama, just like I said earlier. And they should focus on governance. And yeah, they're all politicians.
Yes, definitely.
Some are in office.
Yes.
They have a job to do.
Yes.
Some are trying to some are contesting for an office. So this makes it two different ballgames entirely.
Yeah. But some are still in the office and still contesting.
Yeah, but for someone like Wike, he should know that. He should let all these distractions go the other way and focus. Yeah, yes, it's either fault. A lot of people, he had done so much in Rivers and all that. Him inviting Governor Sanwo-Olu to come and commission. Yeah, we know how all these things work. He's just trying to make a bold statement. Now, is like the bride of everybody, and what is putting out there is I can go the way of APC, I can go the way of PDP.
But then the question I want to ask you is Rivers so much of a very important factor in this coming election?
The truth is Wike has got control of war chest. Number one. Number two,
the money he would bring to the table.
He has a war chest. If we are not convinced, look at what played out during the primaries. There was a lot of money to spend. He came out with so much. Number one. That number two, going by the latest figure from the voter registration, I think Rivers was number 3 or number 4. When it comes to numbers of registered voters. So all these things come to play. And that's why even people are like, oh, Atiku should settle with him and all that. Yeah, you have other dissenting voices that said, oh, Atiku should call his bluff. But whichever way, PDP cannot afford to go into elections with a divided house. So the earlier they put their acts together, sort this out amongst themselves. And yeah, there are issues. Wike and his group made some demands. And for a seasoned politician like Atiku, that won't fly. Telling him to make some commitments in writing, some are reasonable, some are not particularly reasonable. But hey, at the end of the day, the politicians, they will sort themselves out. If they don't sort themselves out, then they lose elections.
Kudos to them.
Everybody moves on. But the bottom line is Nigerians and people of Rivers should not suffer for the games being played by these politicians. It's not just fair.
But then you're talking about games being played. Their governor is a handsome governor who has been in the news, talking a lot, and seems to be doing quite a lot for them as well. Fortunately for him, he's not running for a third term in office. He's another candidate of the PDP, obviously, or the candidate of the APC, or candidate of any other party will be coming in to take over River State. So if we take a look at it, and we can make a strong statement to say that he's going to fight PDP or Atiku with votes. Is that really?
He had kept repeating that I'm in control here, I'm in control here. That he's putting it out there, telling whoever cares to listen. It's like, oh, I hold Rivers by the jugular. It's either me or nobody. Within his party, PDP, there's internal wranglings between him and APC. They don't get to see eye to eye. So all those things. If anybody's saying that, oh, Wike had done so much in the area of infrastructure, he's done so much for River State, that would not be fair enough compared to, okay, what is River State's IGR, what is their allocation from the federal government, and compare that with what is on ground. As far as I'm concerned, no governor in Nigeria as of today has not done enough with regards to the money that comes to their coffers. What has he done with the security votes in his possession? So all those things is not to an extent, the window dressing at Africa is not enough. They can still do far much more. It's not just about infrastructure. You have the issue of pollution there. You can say that, oh, that's preserved by the federal government. You have all this in education, insecurity, and all these things. We should put all this in perspective. And that's why I said earlier, we should focus on governance, not on politicking. I mean, we have so much more to do in River State.
Another story I think we saw right there should be the story of, where's your Punch newspaper? Yeah, we're still looking at the stories on the front page of the Punch. Again, you have Ondo Amotekun intercepting 168, if I'm correct, yes. Yeah, 168
invaders.
People they call invaders hiding under cows. Last week, there was another story. I'm not sure if it's Ondo or Oyo. There was another set of people that were found inside of a truck bringing cows and livestock to the south. I think it's
Oyo State.
That was Oyo State last week. And these people, the fact there were children, there were women, young girls, and all that
and they had,
inside.
They had ammunitions.
And they had ammunitions as well. Now, Amotekun has stopped them. Now, I'm looking at what Amotekun is doing, and I want to compare it with what the Benue State Governor is asking for. He just started his own security outfit, almost like the Amotekun, and he wrote to President Muhammadu Buhari to give them weapons, to be able to give them the level of fair play. I didn't remember that happening with Amotekun, and really, they seem to be doing a lot. Now, this issue of invaders, first of all, I think this is not the first time we're even looking at it. What exactly are your thoughts about hiding under cows?
Initially, when this story broke, you had some mischievous people talking about, oh, there's freedom of movement, within the country and all that. I'll give it to Amotekun that they did a good job regarding this. I mean, the pictures don't lie, videos don't lie. When they caught the truck, there were cows, there were motorcycles, okay, you give that to them. These people, who are they? Are they Nigerians? They can't tell. Where are you going? Coming here. And on the TV yesterday, even on all the media outlets now, the Hausa community in Ondo State said, oh, we are not aware of those people. We don't know where they're coming from. We don't know where they're... Okay, agreed.
There's
not
some sort
all...
of a disclaimer.
Yes, not all Northerners are Hausas. But at the same time, Amotekun had... put all the cards on the table. We caught these people. This is what they did. And, oh, we're not there when they were caught. And, okay, these are the people. Who are they? It's unfortunate that our national identification program is not well in place yet. In other places, not even just senior clients that we normally say, or maybe advanced countries, in some African countries, once the gender, okay, the French country, once the gendarme stops you and you think to be a citizen, all you need to do is to just thumbprint. They would know if you're a citizen or not. Either you are literate or an illiterate. They would know. So here, these people, where are they coming from? Okay, Ondo State is even too far. We had those cases in Lagos, only that it didn't just make the news like this. If you all these people going on Okada all over Lagos, if you talk to them, try and engage some of them, they will tell you, some of them will tell you that they're not Nigerians. So there's just free flow. And again, there's issue of the the issue of human trafficking.
Also involved here.
Also involved here. Because where are they, okay, if you say, oh, they are refugees.
Isn't there a more dignified way to travel if they are really refugees?
Yeah, so why are you hiding?
Why they camouflage?
Why hide?
Cows.
Yes, why hide underneath motorbikes? Why hide underneath livestock to get from one point to the other? That means they have a sinister motive. So these are things, and really, the more we make these things public, the better. And so far, I'm yet to get any statement from the federal government or the national, the agency in charge of registration of people say anything about this. So people just move the way they like. The SIM registration was just the best they could do, and that's it. So I mean, I don't need to carry a phone before I don't need to have a SIM before you insist. There should be other ways of making sure that all your citizens are captured in the national database. And this is not good enough, because if we keep going on this way, we feel we are safe. We will wake up one morning and really have a big mess on our hands. This is, for me, is just a tip of the iceberg. This is just, okay, I know I can bet there are other cases. There are other cases in different areas in the southwest, in the southeast, in the south, whereby these things happen, but they don't even get to make. Of course, I mean, the news we read of newspapers is just probably maybe 1 out of 10 or 2 out of 10 of all these kind of occurrences. So the government agencies in charge of these things should, if you cannot effectively patrol the borders, at least make sure that you have a system in place whereby your own people, if you stop somebody, if you don't carry an identity card, at least the government should have your records. The ease at which foreigners just come in here, do whatever they want, move around, do all sorts. I mean, it is not, and it's a dangerous thing for anybody to feel. Once this person looks like a northerner, is either a Fulani or an Hausa person. No, that is not it. Engage, at least try to engage them, and you'll be shocked.
Have a conversation with them, you say. But then let's go to the other issue, which is the issue of the Benue State governor asking for weapons to, put them at par with the invaders. I'm asking, how is Amotekun doing it? Would that really be, because then I envisage already that if President Muhammadu Buhari refuses to sign that request or assent to that request, then we will start hearing that the president really does not have the interest to resolve the issue. But I'm just asking, when Ebubeagu started, they also didn't ask for special permits to carry these weapons. What weapons are Amotekun using that they're doing this much?
The Amotekuns, they have the Onta kind of, the Onta kind of ammunition is a lesser. Is a lesser ammunition, as it were.
There are different classes of gun licenses.
Yes.
Of course, you and I, as private citizens, the government won't issue a license for you to carry assault rifles.
Which is why President Muhammadu Buhari said anybody with AK-47 should be shot at sight.
Yes, AK-47. Firearms in that range are assault. They are assault rifles. What you have in Vita Amotekun Ebubeagu are the ones that they are allowed to carry are game guns, hunting guns. But hey, the kind of situation we have in Benue State, you have people coming from nowhere kill people, sack a whole village, and go like that. I feel Governor Tom is just playing to the gallery, just okay, let everybody see that I'm doing things the right way. I mean, you can't just leave these people and they kill them every day. Even without Governor Otom, a time will come, they'll start defending themselves. I mean, it's not, people are being killed every day. And that is what we can, I mean, we even get to read on the papers. Some don't make it to the news headlines at all. So I think in the next 1 or 2 weeks, this issue of licensing for the security outfit will go down, and they would start doing what they need to do.
All right, we need to say thank you to Tolani Ujuri this morning and let you get to class as quickly as possible. Many thanks for joining us
very much.
on the Bumper Breakfast. We'll take a break. When we come back, Olayinka Oladaniels joins the show, and we're talking about more of today's stories. Please stay with us.
We're back at Biggie's for Big Brother Naija Season 7. Who will bring the heat? What shakeups will happen within this walls? We'll be discussing everything. Don't miss the new season of The Buzz, Tuesdays and Saturdays from 7 p.m. only on Showmax. With never seen before snippets, interviews and reviews hosted by me, Toke Makinwa. Subscribe now at www.showmax.com.
Do you have continuity or association plan for your business?
Has anyone shared the concept of sustainability with you?
What about the need to protect the rights of minority shareholders?
What are those ingredients germane to having effective meetings?
For these and many more, tune into Corporate Governance Platform every Thursday on MITV, your darling station, on DSTV 255 and UHF 43 at 4:30 p.m.
Corporate Governance Platform is your best medium for informative and educative strategies for the practice of the corporate governance profession.
Institute of Chartered Secretaries and Administrators of Nigeria, ICSAN, the hub of governance professionals.
Welcome back to the Bumper Breakfast. So we're talking more on the stories that made the front page of the dailies this morning. And we have Olayinka Oladaniels, a constitutional lawyer, joining us today. Good morning.
Good morning, Thomason. Good morning, Madam Kenny.
Good morning.
Good morning, viewers.
So you don't want to say good morning, namesake?
He's my sake.
Okay.
And he's the only crush I have.
You have been announcing this crush since.
He knows he's my crush. Don't let me come and speak wrong grammar.
Anyway, I want to begin this next conversation.
Do you not know that you are my crush?
Yeah.
Maybe I'm not fine enough to crush on him.
There's no matchmaking on my table because me, I will tell. All the people that can be told, I will tell.
I don't know what you're talking about. What's in the garden?
All right, so I want to go straight to the Nation newspaper, and the interesting part, the most interesting story for me that we want to begin with is the one that is above the nameplate, and Soyinka slams Pirates confraternity for mocking our politician. Now, you see, over the weekend, a video broke on social media, and people started, it took somebody playing it for me like 2 or 3 times before I even got the message in the video.
Really?
I tell you, it took me 2-3 times to listen before I could get the message in the video. And then Professor Wole Soyinka slammed the Pirates conference. I thought it was a man. It was one of the elders or something. He has dissociated himself from a video clip circulating on several social media platforms of a group dancing and singing in red and white costume, purportedly members of the Pirates confraternity. He said interim statement on a dubious political outing, which he made available to the nation. My attention has been drawn to a video clip making internet rounds on a dancing and chanting group in red and white costume, purportedly members of the Pirates confraternity. This display acidly targets a presidential candidate in the awaited 2023 elections. Since the whole world knows of my connection with that fraternity, it is essential I state in clear, unambiguous terms that I am not involved in that public performance, nor in any way associated with the sentiments expressed in the songs. Like any other civic group, the Pirates Confraternity is entitled to its freedom of expression, individually or collectively. So also is Wole Soyinka is his own person. I do not interfere in, nor do I attempt to dictate the partisan political choices of the confraternity. I remain unaware that the association ever engages in a collective statement of sponsorship or repudiation of any candidate. This is clearly a new and a bizarre development fraught with unpredictable consequences. In addition, let me make the following cultural affirmations. I've listened to the lyrics of the chant intently, and I am frankly appalled. I find it distasteful. I belong to a culture where we do not mock physical afflictions or disabilities. Very much the contrary. The Yoruba religion indeed designated deity or Batala as the divine protector of the afflicted, no matter the nature of such affliction. This sensibility is ingrained in us from childhood and remains with us all our lives. It operates on the principle of moral frailty to which all human remains vulnerable. One of my favorite authors, about whom, by a coincidence, I had course to write quite recently, was C.L.R. James, author of The Black Jacobins, Beyond the Boundary, etc., etc. I called him my ideological uncle. He suffered from Parkinson's disease, but remained alert, lucid, and combative for decades after the onset of the disease. I just want to end the story right there. What do you think? People have said the confraternity, Obi is a member, and all that and all that. And then Professor Wole Soyinka, who coincidentally is not standing for election, okay, has come out in public to say, because I am a member, I dissociate myself from such assiduous display, very acidic
not
display.
Not just a member, he founded it.
And you know, it's quite interesting.
Well, my take on this is clear. And one, I will start with Professor Wole Soyinka. Even in his speech, denouncing the fraternity and
no, the fraternity's display, not the fraternity.
Yeah, I'm sorry, the display, and I mean, coming hard on them. I think, to an extent, he also made some statement that shouldn't have been made. Yeah, because if you're talking about your friend that had Parkinson, if you talk about all that, it means that you're also alluding to the fact that a candidate
in this 2023 election.
In 2023 is sick and has some
deformities.
Well, some challenges, health challenges and all that. He should not have gone that route.
He even called it disability.
Good. So he shouldn't have gone that route because, one, he's not a doctor to this person we are talking that they're referring to. The last time I checked.
That has been implied.
The last time I checked, he's not a doctor. He's a writer. I mean, so you cannot say whoever that they're talking about, if you are not privy to the health condition of this person, you're not privy to his medical, reports, or you are not his doctor, so you should not have even gone. Meaning that you are even saying that even if this person, yes, in as much as he's trying to tell them that don't body shame or shame anyone, and considering our culture, where how we grew up and what we were taught, but then you should not have, because that alone send wrong signal to say that, okay, you will agree with me that, okay, this person in question is sick. That is what that means. That is about Professor Wole Soyinka. Now, for the fraternity, because I think there was a press release from them, from their Capone, something yesterday, and saying that, yeah, the fraternity, they are not political, they're not political, whatever, that they have different members that belong to different political parties, they are not interested, they don't have a candidate, and he came out with a statement yesterday, press statement yesterday, and they said all that. And
So
the question I
that
asked,
statement, is this some sort of disclaimer also?
yes, saying that they are not against anybody, they are not talking about anybody, it was just their own thing. And I went back after the display, after the statement, I went back to the video.
Are you kidding me right now?
I went back to the video, I listened to the song again, and I'm like, no, what you're saying doesn't make sense to me.
No, that's medicine after death.
So you did that. If your members, all of them, I was watching, all of them were singing the song. So if you were doing that, it means that you have chosen a part.
Well, would you not say that could be a faction? Because we could have several factions.
Well, that particular fraternity, they were in Lagos. From what they told us from their statement, they went to, they even went to a health hospital. They did some medical whatever. They went to school in Isheri. They did some medical stuff. Part of the things they do, they went around and they from 4th to 8th of August, they went around to do stuff. No doubt about that. But I want to take it further. That is why I have a challenge with some religions bodies. Let me make this clearly. Christianity is not a religion. It's a way of life. There were religions before Christianity. That was before Jesus came. It was after Jesus that Christianity came. And when it came, it was clearly stated that it's a way of life. So if you claim you a Christian, then you carry religion on your head like what Khan and the rest of them are doing. I have issues with that. Now, going back to my analysis on the religious body we are talking about, the Islam, the Christian, the traditional, the Buddhists, the Jews, and all that. They have members in almost all the political parties. They're all religious members in APC, PDP, ABGA, NNPP, LP, all the political parties. So, what I expect individuals to do is to say, look for a credible candidate, do your research, and let us have a better Nigeria. Vote wisely. You can advise them, but you shouldn't, put a tent to a particular candidate. Why? Because, yes, the association, the fraternity, back to the fraternity now, because I'm just linking fraternity like every other association, every other organization, is a civil group. So, you should not be seen campaigning as a body. Why? Because, yes, you have members in that organizations that belong to different parties. So, now, if you're partisan, then you support a particular candidate. So, why are you telling your members that belongs to other party? Already, you're showing bias. You're telling them that, no, don't go that route. That is not what the association is a free will. All of you came together, irrespective of your affiliations, to say we are Christians, we are Muslims, we are traditionalists, we are Jews, we are big. So that is a separate thing entirely. That brings you together. But even at that, reason why you have Yorubas, you have the Ibibios, you have the Hausas, you have the Fulanis, you have the Igbos, whatever, in a particular religion. So do you then tell them, we know, just advise, look for a credible candidate, so what the display that I've seen with that fraternity, for me, is appalling, is not acceptable, it is wrong. You shouldn't come and do that. And again, the one that baffles me, I'm trying to still find out the TV station that carried that thing, that aired that thing yesterday. A TV station. Yes. Was showing that song.
Yesterday.
A TV station. What are we doing?
It all boils down to how porous our principles, our job.
Or probably it could be. Did you listen to the news before and after the
thank
broadcast?
you.
Probably it could be.
Thank you.
There was a discussion about it, and they needed to.
Thank you for bringing this part out to me, because I wanted to eat that. No excuse.
Like we are discussing.
You can discuss,
video.
and you don't need to show that video.
For example,
you can say it's wrong. You can say you can have your view about it.
Yeah.
But now, playing it because you want to talk about it is not acceptable. That is
for example,
totally
we're talking about it. We have the video. Why are we not
like
playing
showing an Islamic whatever church on national TV? I mean, campaigning for a particular
political party.
No,
except it's paid for.
no. Thank you. And that is what you see. That's what people are saying. That no, don't do the statement release. You, I mean, yesterday didn't do anything. Didn't save anything. You had already messed up. Just accept you did and apologize, and don't come and use excuses to, or give us stories to cover up your mess. No, for me that is not acceptable. Way out of, because if you call yourself an organization, a fraternity, there is something that brought you together. You must have your constitution, and you are telling us that you are not partisan, you are not this, you are not that, and yet what we are seeing in action is different from what you are telling us you do. Then it should be questioned.
Definitely. Our next conversation centers around the WAEC result that was released, and Patrick Arega spoke yesterday in Lagos about one of the reasons why they released some for the state and they didn't release for the other states. My director can just put up the video whenever it is ready. Now, the thing is, apparently about 10 states are owing WAEC for the fees, for the SWAEC examination, and they said it has become they're perpetual debtors. So the man did say that he wasn't going to, allow that to continue until they pay the result of the candidates from those states will not be released. Let's quickly listen to him, and then we'll react in the studio here.
We have to pay salaries and allowances. We have to run the office. We have to pay pension, we have to pay gratuity. All these are costs. And how much is the exam fee? Some of you will take your calculator and say 18,000 times so and so. That's not our money. That's not the registration fee. The registration fee is just over 4,000 naira. All the other money goes into the purchase and supply of items to schools and candidates. And it is from this meager sum that we will do all that I've mentioned. So it's a big puzzle, it's a big problem. But for your information, for now, we are not contemplating any increase in the examination fee.
Yes, so back here, and let's begin with, as usual, malpractice may be a factor, but this time around, Patrick Arega came out and said 10 states are owing WAEC for these fees, and apparently they are debtors. It has become a trend that they will owe for the payment of their candidates. I thought secondary education being free was supposed to be something that should be maybe one of the most important projects on the table of any government, especially when it has to do with an examination that is being conducted across West Africa.
This is laughable. How do I mean? How can a state be owing
for WAEC?
For WAEC.
Yeah, because they know WAEC will conduct the examination.
Now, how much are we talking about? WAEC
they are owing WAEC for WASC.
Yeah, WAEC will surely conduct, but their logistics.
True.
They will pay for this, they will pay for that.
Definitely.
Money to print, to do all that, and no. So now,
definitely.
If they have to then look for this money to do that, then you shouldn't hold that. You see, it's just the rot. And what we see, these are the fruits of the death of the rot in this nation. The fruits. That's why we tell people that, come, we're not dealing with the fundamental issues. Most times when we talk, we just, we pick the icing on the cake, and the roots is there. We don't even, and see, what is like you have a tree of mango. This year, maybe 5 years, is season and all that. This year, and you get your mangoes and they're gone. And you're telling me that you're not going to, even if you cut that tree, and you have not uprooted it, it will still grow. Now, what we've been doing is the mangoes, is the branches of that particular tree. If states cannot pay for WAEC, then tell me how government will be able to do what ASU is asking them to do. If at the level of state, you cannot pay for WAEC of your student. You see, year in, year out, probably you know the number of people, you have your statistics, the number of students coming to write WAEC also here. In your budget, was there any provisions for that? When you know that you're going to pay for this?
After all, you know that you're going to pay for it. It's a constant. So, National Common Entrance, Junior WAEC, and WAEC, and WASC.
Is it not the same state, one of the states, came out to tell us that 400 barrels of oil is being stolen every day. And we ask, what makes a barrel? 159 liters, thereabout, makes a barrel. Now, when you put them by 400, multiply it, maybe you're going to 9 million, liters per day. And you're telling us you don't know. This is crude oil that you take out. It is not finished product. This is crude oil. Now, crude oil, is it being taken out by gallons? Such amount of per day. So if you're talking about 400 barrels, you're talking about 9 million thereabout per day. So is that 9 million liters being taken out gallons? Now, these are the same states that cannot afford to pay for WAEC. Of how much per year? How much of how many are the students we are talking about? I don't have my statistics, but maybe you put them together, in the end you may not even be paying 2-3 billion for this. And yet, and some of these same states, you will see the convoy of their governors when they are moving. In fact, you know how much they will spend per movement when they do anything. They still have the security vote that we don't know what they do with it. And some of them will even give themselves so massive, figure for the security. So they waste money. They spend unnecessary money on unnecessary things. We have so huge system of government here called democracy by their own definitions, and you cannot even do that simple. They need that simple thing to pay for WAEC. Now you are owing WAEC. Everybody is owing. You owe your salary of your people paying your government workers. You are owing everybody. You are not paying gratuity. You are not paying pensions. Where are we? And what do they do with this money?
And then, the man stated one of the things, one of the things the man also mentioned was the fact that insecurity has even made their expenses more. Now, because for example, in the places like in the southeast and the northeast where they had to conduct examination, they have to spend much more in those areas. So this money is not coming in is also a very critical factor, And then the one that baffled me is the fact that they even alleged that parents were buying Expo for their kids. So he talked about the poor performance as well, and he wanted to confirm that one of the reasons why they had they've been having poorer performance is the fact that these kids rely on the Expo, and then when they get into the exam hall, they discover that the Expo is far, far, far different from the examination questions which they were given. So it all comes down to adequate preparation. And when we're celebrating 1-point-something million kids passing with just 5 subjects, I mean, in a country where we should be celebrating close to all of them having distinctions and all
think,
that.
there's biblical saying that if the foundation be destroyed, what really can the righteous do? Because I was my daughter in senior secondary 1 now. she was telling me, Mommy, don't forget to buy my calculator. Mommy, don't forget to buy my calculator. And I'm just like, for crying out loud, SS1 calculator. And I remember that my son at the time, I think that was about 4 or 5 years ago when he wrote his WAEC, I remember that he told me that it was the use of calculator was permitted, you know, little things like this. And now one of the things Aragon was saying also was the use of cell phones and all of that. Now, when you permit things like calculators, so, and you say don't bring in cell phones, so because the foundation, I feel already is faulty. A whole lot of the foundation is faulty. So it really makes the students now to be some sort of relaxed, and they are like, oh, we'll go in there and
we definitely will have
and things
have it easy.
Yeah, and unfortunately, the schools also, they are culpable, you know, with so much of private schools, you know, because now we so much depend
special centers.
Yes, on private schools and special centers, and you just never know what is going on there. You know, a lot of things, you know, is affecting our educational system, and also parenting, also the academical. You see, there's some things I really don't, I can't fathom. I try to, but I just cannot. How can I get a special, or pay for
special center,
an expo? You know, there are some things I just cannot.
The rot has been there for a long time.
It's a lot of, so many things has gone wrong
with the system.
About the exam malpractices and all that, it's been there for a long time.
I'm sorry to also cut you short. My daughter, you know, I told you I was taking her away from the body now. So a guardian, when she was in school, called me yesterday to say, congratulations, the result they are out. And I said, oh, what's my daughter's result? She said she doesn't know, that she has not gone to check, but she saw the list of the students that were going to have a receipt. I'm like, excuse me? A receipt in junior? Because I remember, because we were the first set of JS, if you like, get 10 credits and fail maths, you will repeat it.
Yeah.
So is it
still the same?
I said there's a receipt now. Those of them that did not make it, they are going to have a receipt, as in you are doing another.
Yeah.
They are having a receipt.
A receipt of the same
exam. Of the same exam.
You just said another question.
Are you with me here?
No. You said we were going to repeat the class.
A receipt of the examination.
I don't. See, this is it. Hold on.
So many things.
Hold on. You know, there was a time
in your daughter's school.
Hold on. Is it public school?
No. It's a missionary school.
It's a missionary. That's well, still in line with the public school. Not all those private that they pay.
So it's something.
No, she paid for everything. I know how much she was paying.
No. But they fall in line. They don't do their thing.
They fall in line with the public schools. They don't. Nobody do special center. They do like the private. That's what I mean.
So that is what is tenable now.
So now, what I'm saying. Hold on that. It didn't just start. I remember back in law school then. You know, there's a number of whether credit or decision you have, or you know, we are by percentage some grade that if you don't make some courses, maybe one. If you don't make one, hold on, you will receipt. Hold on, I'm coming back to primary. I'm coming back to that junior whatever. Then if you don't make one, you get a receipt. Or then they set another question for you on that. But once you fail two, that means you are coming back. You are repeating the class for the whole whatever. Now, coming back to this junior whatever. Yes, in those days, you fail one, particularly
you fail 1 year. Math and English.
No.
You fail only math.
Coming to this receipt. Those ones, because there's some that will still fail.
Because I know that a lot of my friends.
Hold on, that we will take that class. But the receipt you are talking about, we need to check very well. It is possible that the people that are reciting make maths and English. Either that they didn't make credits, but they still clear. They still clear.
For
no, it's 5 as in 5 to pass, as in 5 to clear whatever. But it's minimum, but it must include maths, English, and maybe one basic science. No, what I'm saying is this: once they make maths, English, and other ones, but probably they didn't get up to that 5 credit. Maybe they feel some. Then those ones can resit. Now, but if you don't have any of the maths and English, then you have to repeat the class.
Excuse me. For me, those days, I remember vividly because, we have our alumni and all of that. And we know a lot of people that, fell the victim. They what are you saying? They had to repeat.
No, I think the education system, I think even for all the way to tertiary institution, even I remember when we were in school, if you fail what we call elective,
you can come back
and you still have your grade, even if you are on 4 point whatever, and you fail a compulsory course,
you will go back.
You will take it to graduate. If in your final year, if you fail a compulsory course, even if you are on 4 point whatever, you are not going anywhere. You will retake it. So for me, I don't have issues with those ones, but where I have issue is now somebody fail the compulsory ones, the math, English. Then you're not saying is having a receipt. No, and I doubt if anybody would do that. So
I will also make some inquiries.
Thank you, please do. And again, our time. I'm still going to do that. We can't expect us. Yes, education has really gone bad. When I was in final year, in university, those people that were coming in to GS1, year one in school. We know how their parents came, drove them to school. In fact, we were wondering what was happening in our school. They flooded everywhere. They didn't go home. They packed. Yeah, they didn't pack. They slept on the cars. Yeah, their parents, they were looking for expos to buy so that those people who go and write jam or something they were doing, or post, I can't remember what they were doing. So it's getting, parents are not helping matters. They are encouraging this old mess. In as much as I want us to look at the old time, let's just look at it and see how it can be better. But we cannot restrict this. Like the people will say, they've gone global. The children of today, they are different from that is why it's getting deteriorating like every day. God help us.
Let the same standard pass from generation to generation, whatever it is that we're talking about. Thank you so much, Inka, for joining us this morning. Inka Kenny, how do you close?
Nigeria will be fine. My name is Inka Kenny.
We'll see you again tomorrow morning, bright and early on the Bumper Breakfast. So have a lovely day. Bye-bye.